Even odd. All right. Don't like it. Land, creature, land. And I'm going to do this. So next turn we should be able to overload this and destroy their hopes and dreams. I believe. So we can anger, cultivate, explore, casualties. My fair citizens of Sodium City, we have Junderpants. Now this deck is going to revolve around 2 cards. Well, technically 1.5 or 3 cards. Mainly just 1, but has 2 different win conditions. So the card that we're focusing on the most is Mizzix Mastery. So this is a 4-mana sorcery. Exile target card that's an instant or sorcery from your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, copy it, and you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost, and then you exile Mizzix Mastery. So this actually does avoid the cage. Cage is really cool because it does prevent you from casting spells from the graveyard, right? But Mizzix Mastery, it exiles that card and then makes a copy and you cast that copy. So it completely avoids cage, which is super, super cool. Now the part that we're more focused on is going to be the overload cost, which is actually 8 mana instead of 4, so it's double. You may cast this spell for its overload cost instead. If you do, change the text by replacing all instances of target with each. So basically, you're going to exile each card that's an instant or sorcery from your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, make a copy and cast it. So we're basically going to exile every single instant or sorcery from our graveyard, and then we're going to copy it and cast it. And we're going to have 2 different win conditions. It's either going to be Tendrils of Agony or it's going to be Professor Onyx. So Tendrils is a 4-mana sorcery, kind of expensive, but again, we're going to be casting most things from our graveyard, so that's irrelevant. Target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, and it has a storm counter with it. So when you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. So this is really, really cool because, again, Mizzix Mastery, you're exiling all those cards, making a copy, and then casting it without paying its mana cost. So Mizzix Mastery, if you get a bunch of spells, instants, and sorceries in the graveyard, you're actually casting spells, which is increasing the storm counter on Tendrils. So the higher amount of spells that you have in the graveyard that you exile and cast from Mizzix Mastery, the more damage that you can actually get with Tendrils of Agony. The thing you will want to make sure that you do every single time is that Tendrils of Agony is going to be the very last spell that you will want to cast from Mizzix Mastery. So when you cast Mizzix Mastery, it will exile all your spells, and then what you want to do is you want to click on every single spell that's not Tendrils of Agony until the very last spell you want to cast. That will ensure that the storm counter actually is the maximum amount, and you can actually see the number right at the top left-hand corner of Tendrils of Agony. You actually see a little counter start counting up for every single spell that you click on. Our other win condition is going to be Professor Onyx. 6 mana Liliana, comes with a 5 loyalty, kind of rough for a 6 mana Planeswalker, but it has a +1. But the passive of Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, which is, once again, amazing with Mizzix Mastery because you're casting spells or copying whatever from the graveyard. So if you have a bunch of spells in the graveyard, you cast Mizzix. If you have Professor Onyx out, you're going to do 2 damage to each opponent and you're going to gain 2 life. So again, you're just going to get a crazy amount of spells out and then do a ton of damage from Professor Onyx. That's really just the passive. However, the +1 from Professor Onyx is actually amazing. So you lose 1 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So it's like an Underrealm Lich passive, which is amazing. I'm a big fan of Underrealm Lich, but this in a Planeswalker is kind of cool, actually. But also then has the -3 of each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures that players control. So I really like this. Number 1, because it's actually a one-sided sacrifice, unlike the other 6 mana Lily where it's double-sided. But it's also a single sacrifice, which does kind of suck, but it forces the most powerful creature, which is the one you usually always want to get, right? So I do really like that. And they don't get like extra life from it. They don't get to draw a card from it. It's literally they just sacrifice it. So there's no real downside for them sacrificing it, which that part I think is really important to note. And then of course the -8, each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 more times. Now we probably will almost never use this. I'm pretty sure people will surrender by then, or we will have already killed them by then, but you never know. Now the rest of the deck is really just filled with board wipes and ramps. So we have Explore, Cultivate, Extinction Event, Ritual of Soot, Languish, Anger of the Gods, all that stuff. And then of course we're using the newer card Faithless Looting, which is nice. You get to draw a couple cards, put a couple cards in the graveyard, and once again it just feeds Mizzix. It's fantastic. I wish we could have more card draw and then discard. Professor Onyx does really well with that, which is kind of why I want to go up to a 4th one instead of just 3. But it's something that's really hard for me to cut, to find something to cut. Because we are using 4 Casualties of War, which is the same mana slot, still 6 mana, but Casualties of War is also a spell that you can cast from Mizzix Mastery. So Casualties of War, once again, it's a 6 mana spell. If you can get it into your graveyard with like a Faithless Looting or something, on turn 4, you can just cast Mizzix Mastery without paying the overload, and you can get a Casualties of War on turn 4, which is actually fucking amazing. Technically, you can get it out on turn 3 with an Explorer and stuff, which that just now gives me a lot of extra bad ideas for more land destruction. Okay, we just got a lot more bad. I just had an epiphany. All right, we gotta stop this deck real quick. All right, I'm back. But if you want to take this deck and build it at home, it's going to take you 31 rares and 7 mythics. It's kind of pricey, but it's the fucking truth. It's really, really fun to play. Once you get the combo down, it's beautiful. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, bell notification to come out with videos 7 days a week. You don't want to miss a single wacky combo deck. If you want to help the channel out even more than that, you can go ahead and hit that join button and you can see all the different perks you get, or you can go over to Twitch, hit the tier 2 or tier 3 sub. You can even get one of your decks turned into one of these YouTube videos. And as for yesterday's comment question of the day, I asked you, how many packs did it take you to open up your first Stone Rain? It took me 94. Here are your answers. And if you want your comment featured in these videos, make sure you answer the comment question of the day every single day, 7 days a week in the comment section below. Stay salty and enjoy the games. Arena was just sitting out waiting on server for like 5 minutes. Couldn't do anything. Alright, Mushi. Maybe this is just not the deck that we can play. I feel like we almost don't really need casualties that much, but so we're missing out on green sources again. I hate how when you click on the right side of the screen, the sound comes out of the left. And when you click on the left, sounds like it's coming out of the right. It's so trippy. It's super trippy. Have an opt. I didn't get a single land out of that. I was kind of hoping to get a land. Yeah. Green source would have been the nicest. Would have definitely been the nicest. But an untapped land would kind of be fine because I can still Mizzix Mastery. And Casualties of War to kill 2 things. I don't know if I want to do that, but I may have to. Jeez. All right. So we're gonna cultivate for 2 green. No, green and a red, because I need a 3rd red. So we need 7 mana total. Do they have Phoenixes in here yet? No. Okay. Alright, so we don't have to worry about Phoenixes. We don't have any removal. This thing is beating our face in, though. Yeah, so now we get double green. Although I played that for Y. Yeah. Yeah, I needed to play the forest there and then explore and then play that mountain. Okay. So I can win, I believe. And then we just -3 to kill that. They swing and kill my Onyx.
You really want to fight me? That's cute.
And then we throw out our mastery, cast everything.
Great.
I'm pretty sure they swing out our Onyx. Oh, that kills. Got it. I didn't realize I had planeswalkers. Okay. Well, fine. If they have a counterspell, do they have a counterspell? Please no. I feel like I'm getting slow rolled right now. Ooh. Okay, we cultivate, then explore, then casualties. Then casualties. And tendrils. I think that's exactly how many we need.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, just kidding. It's a little bit more than we needed. Right now. It's not how much we needed. I lied. Well, Liliana does some shit.
New job, new life, new opportunities.
What is this? 3? Yeah. I think I could have actually won. I think I could have won. Well, I still Faithless Looting into a Tendrils of Agony. And I believe I win. Yeah. That was close. Close. But it was easy. At the same time. Easy at the same time. I feel like it's just not enough. It's definitely not enough. Actually, the more I look at it. It's definitely not enough. We really only need 2 Tendrils of Agony, right? Need more ways to get stuff into the graveyard. I definitely wouldn't mind adding in another Onyx. Just because it's super good. +1 is just ridiculous. Now we may have to go a little bit of a different route. It's not really land destruction if we do it that way, but it's a lot closer. Can you pay the overload cost with Golos? That I'm not sure. I'm assuming yes, but I don't know. Pack rats? No, thank you. Let's really hope it's not land destruction.
Taste of your own medicine.
If they drop a red source in Stone Rain, okay. Woo! 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 That would've sucked. Alright. $26 lands. Could go up to 27th land. Should help. I don't think Soot is needed. But definitely gonna kill one of their mana sources. Trample. Alright, land off the top. Come on. If not, that's kind of fine. I do have... I wouldn't mind killing that. It's not bad either. Alright. We don't have a Tendrils yet. But... 3, 4, 5, 6... So it is a Mutate deck. Yeah, I think I should have sooted there. Then we just -3. Could have a Questing Beast, which would suck. But, you know, there's nothing we can do about that. It's a lot of card draw.
You'll learn the power of death.
Was weird. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Overload. I think we win. I think we win. Enchantment land. Oh, I was gonna blow up all of your lands, and then I was gonna kill you with Liliana. Or Professor Onyx, excuse me. I just whip out my ruler. It's beautiful. It's good. We like those. We like those. Faithless Looting is only 2 and 2. I mean, what if we get just like absolute garbage out of this? Oh, that's bad. Just spin both the casualties. Alright, well. Drew a land. And another 6 mana card. Not what we wanted. Another land. Nice. Not what we wanted. I will go up to double black. Just because, like a Ritual of Soot or anything. Or that. It's a great draw, great draw, great draw. And Faithless Looting isn't bad here either. It's not great, but it's not bad. Especially if they don't do anything. They only have burn spells. Foretelling is mono red burn? What do they do? I need one more red, then another green. Cool. So we get Professor Onyx. Does she die right away? That is the question. You're gonna sacrifice that immediately. Yeah, immediately.
Watch the life essence fade.
You can kill her, unfortunately, but... Oh shit. There are 2 dual strikes? Alright. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. If we get a thing... That's bad. It's a good thing we have this. Can Faithless Looting into a Tendrils? I mean, it's better than nothing, obviously. Getting 4 HP is kind of nice. But again, all we need is 1 Mizzix. We have an 11% chance. We have 4 of them. 35 cards. It's not that bad. If we get 1, we win. pretty good too, actually. I hope you can't do 6 damage to her. Let's get a backup. Let's get a backup. Yeah, backup's gonna be really nice. You do get the Ritual Soot. It's only 1 though. Maybe I should have picked up a Languish, but I think having my 3rd Professor is kind of important. Are we dead? Oh shit. Ouch.
Never thought I'd miss the library.
Okay, so they do let that go away. Question is, I think we're fine. I think I keep these in my hand for Faithless Looting protection.
You and I are gonna take them out.
Okay, it's a land. Yes. Finally.
Let's go.
Easy game. Easy every time. Alright, so we're gonna do that one. It does get very loud, sorry. Cultivate. Alright, we got a whole bunch of them. Oh wait, that's right. It doesn't matter because Professor Onyx does it. That's right. It's every time you cast a spell. So that's a lot of triggers. A whole lot of triggers. Because they cast a copy exiled this way. So yeah, and then Liliana's or Professor Onyx's passive, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. If you want to see me build and play all these decks live, then go ahead and make sure to follow me over at twitch.tv/StriderStone. I stream 5 days a week, every day except Monday and Thursday. Schedule in the description below. And that last game would have been so cool if opponent didn't go AFK randomly for 2 different turns. They went AFK for picking their hand, and then they came back for a turn, and then they went AFK the next turn. I was like, they had 2 or 3 lands when I think they had 3 lands, and then I put out a Liliana. It's just like, is that even fair at that point? I don't know why the fuck I kept this hand. Okay. Helps a lot. Definitely gonna have to get double black out of this. Okay, it's Azorius. Casualties of War is pretty nice here. Let's get let's just get a few more reds. Why not? Probably should go with more greens. Yeah. Let's keep going for the cultivates. Let's thin out the deck as much as possible. Sure.
Never thought I'd miss the library.
It's definitely not bad.
Oh, I got a lecture for you. There has to be an answer here.
And enchantment? I think that's the right move? Okay, so they did have absorb. Like, I feel like they have something. But they didn't get to make a token, which is nice. Yeah. Like, that's gonna be real rough for you to get out of now. Shouldn't have let that... I don't know if they could have not let it resolve. I think they were short of blue. Ooh. Alright. Again, keep up with that momentum. Let's go. I'd kind of be surprised if we really kept up the momentum with this. The deck seems fun, but I don't know, at the same time, it's just... I don't know. I feel like it's not consistent, but it seems relatively consistent. We just have problems with, you know, like Izzet tempo and mono blue tempo, those type of things. But it's like all my decks have problems with those. If they're running counter spells and shit, I'm gonna have problems with it. Okay. It's a good top deck. Our hand is pretty nice against an elf deck. That's what's going on right now. So if they play an elf here, that'd be good. Awesome. It's a great card. Big suck. It's only a triple suck, but hey. Sucking off 3 elves is pretty nice. Need one more red. Fuck it, let's just go 2 red. Let's just go 2 red. We do have a casualties now. Anger is gonna be nice here. Woo! Ow. Rude. Do not appreciate that. Another nice suck. You're gonna have to casualties into casualties. Yeah. That's a lot of mana. Hopefully they don't have like 3 creatures. Hopefully something's an enchantment, right? Or planeswalker? Oh no, it has to be a creature, that's right. It's that mana, the way it's tapped. Maybe it's just one giant creature. Okay, so we definitely kill that. Definitely kill that. Good value, good value. And even odd. All right. Don't like it. Land, creature, land. And I'm going to do this. So next turn we should be able to overload this and destroy their hopes and dreams. I believe. So we can anger, cultivate, explore, casualties. Right? It's pretty nice. We don't get to kill them, but they may surrender just because this is fucking brutal. They're reading. We got a reader! We got a reader! That's right. It only does it. I was doing. That's right, because it's the storm counter that needs to be reversed than what it normally is. The whole thing is ridiculous. Even. Maybe I should have kept that. I don't know if killing that was necessary. Killing something better was more necessary. Yeah, I needed to do those 2 angers last so that I would have been able to do a lot more stuff. Finale of Devastation. That I did not see coming. Yeah, I would have been able to like triple explore and quadruple cultivate, or triple cultivate and quadruple explore right after that, which would have just been ridiculous. Alright. So I can languish into that, get a little bit of life. It's great. Good card.
New job, new life, new opportunity. I never thought I'd miss the library.
Good card. To go face? I mean, doing anything to Lily isn't really gonna do anything, to be honest. Alright, so we just do this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. It's a little bit of damage, but we win this turn. Yep. Land creature. That's a whole lot. It's 2 things of Tendrils of Agony, and then all of that of Liliana. Yeah, I had fucking, what, 10, 15 storm counter things of that, and then 10, 15 of the Professor Onyx things. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. It's just ridiculous. There's literally nothing you can do about it. Alright, so we just keep losing to tempo decks, but yeah, I mean, that's really all it is. Losing tempo decks is the shit. The biggest sack of shit. Okay, I think I'll do a green-red then. Yeah, let's try this. Alright. So adding another land, we removed one of the win conditions, kind of. Just one of the spells. One of the tendrils. We don't really need 4 tendrils, we just need one in the graveyard. Maybe a second one. But we just need one and it just needs to be in the graveyard. And then we're fine. Yes, green sources and lands. This is great. Hugh Jerkman? Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be a huge jerk, man? I don't know what kind of deck they have yet. It's black green, so I'm assuming it's some type of Jund sack. I will need 3rd red eventually. Green. Yeah. You cast a copy of instant or sorcery spell. Okay.
It was going to die eventually anyway.
So hopefully they can't kill my professor. It's a problem. Extinction Event. Not an Extinction Event. Extinction Event. Easy. That's even? 3-4. Even. Great draw. Great draw us. Never didn't have it. Always had it. Never didn't have it. Had it, had it, had it. And I think we can almost win next turn. But we win this turn instead. Yeah. I don't know what this Jund Magecraft? Or... Not Jund Mage. What is this?
What the fuck is this?
It's just Golgari Magecraft? Golgari Aristocrats? I guess? I don't know. Alright, come on. No tempo deck, no tempo decks, no tempo decks, no tempo decks. We just gotta bob and weave them. Just bob and weave. That's it. The new Professor Onyx should be uncounterable. You should not be able to disrespect a teacher by countering them something. I don't know. We added another land, right? So we should be able to get land drops. We're on the draw, but we can most likely cast Anger. Which is good. I was a tiny bit worried. So we can't cast Anger. That I did not. I thought this was an elf deck. Maybe it's not. Need a red and a green. That one and that one. So don't Nissa. That's protection from red. So even. That's horrible for us. Shit. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Can we survive one turn? 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Woo! All right. So, anger, Ritual of Soot, Extinction Event, Cultivate, Explore, Casualties, and Artifact. Tendrils.
Hell yes.
Whew. It's not everything. That's another even. It's a good card. Yeah, because Ritual of Soot will kill the other thing. Easiest game of my life. Less easy.
The land fights for us.
It's a good top deck by the opponent.
I won't be given a second chance.
Okay.
I'll make my own. Come on, there's gotta be something useful. Ugh.
Boom. Boom. Whew. That was kind of close. We got down pretty low. We got down pretty low. Yeah, that was fucking close, yeah. Fucking treasure hunt. It's so stupid. It's the mono red burn of combo decks. Requires 0 brain cells. Which is fine. Perfectly fine. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna make fun of you for playing it. It's perfectly fine if you want to play a brain dead deck. But I'm definitely gonna make fun of you for playing a brain dead deck. 100%. We're gonna pretend that we're an aggro deck. Maybe we'll make them make a weird play. We're gonna need a green source. Ugh. Alright, we'll need... I have another black, so another red and a green. Okay, so Ritual of Soot's really good in this matchup. Faithless Haven is a problem. So Casualties of War is gonna be great. I have 2 Soots. I actually think I should have Languish there. So it was the only time I could have actually successfully gotten off a Languish. They're not at 27 yet, so I suppose that's not true. Faithless Looting. Not quite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I almost don't even have any problems casting Explore, Cultivate, Ritual of Soot. Much as I hate to say it, that's bad. It is in fact really bad. Need 2 casualties for that. Two, 6, 7, 9. So they can't swing at me with both. I think I had to mastery last turn. Because if I would have drawn something. Yeah, because I'm dead next turn. So they swing me for 4. Even if I casualties, go down to 1. Maybe I'm not dead. I don't think I have any way to win. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize. Okay. Ooh. No, I didn't have another black source. Oh my god, if I had another black source, it would have been fine. It would have been perfectly fucking fine. I didn't have another black source in my deck. I guess I could have thought about that more, but fuck me. So I took out a Tendrils and added a land, and that made the deck go 2 and 5 after that. No fucking idea why or how. We went up against a ton of tempo decks, but even then, I don't know. Let's just change it back. So at the end of the day, this deck ended up going 13 and 10. However, I will say that this is fucking bullshit. Okay, so I did end up making a change midway to where I took out a Tendrils of Agony and I added in a Stomping Ground because I was like, I was having a lot of issues to where lands were becoming an issue. All right, so I went 2-0. I fixed the lands because we were running into problems where I was missing green sources and red sources. So I just kind of fixed the lands a bit. Ended up going 8-5. It was much nicer, but kind of just missing lands and it felt scary. So I took out a Tendrils, added a Stomping Ground, and then we just went 2 and 5. We just fucking lost every game. So I undid that change. I ended up just taking out one of the Bojuka Bogs since we have 2. Threw back in the Tendrils, and we won again. So I don't know if it's just a fluke or a coincidence, but for some reason it just, I don't know, when I made this change, it just went to shit. But everything else outside of that, it seems like it's a very, very good and consistent deck, except when we had this change. Then all of a sudden it was like, oh, hey, here's all the tempo decks that you want to go up against, and here's everything that you don't want. So that's kind of what happened. As far as the bad matchups, it's going to be any tempo deck and any counterspell heavy deck. So we lost to Izzet Control, we lost to Mono Blue Tempo, and we lost to Dimir Rogues. Those are basically the only matchups that felt really, really bad. We lost 6 times to those, so 6 out of our 10 losses were to that. And it just didn't feel good. It felt like a really bad matchup, and I don't know what we can do to really fix that. Everything else is just kind of favorable, maybe even in our way, but yeah, those matchups are just very, very bad for us. Unfortunately, there's just not too much that we can do about it. Same thing as if we're going up against an aggro deck that they end up killing us on their turn 3 or their turn 4, our turn 3 rather. We just can't do anything about that. We don't have the tools in this deck to deal with that. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to this point, it means you either really enjoyed the video or you fell asleep and I'm waking you up now. Either way, thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, come out with videos 7 days a week.